Hey guys, check out episode 35. We just got done recording. It was a really, really, really good conversation we had with Dalton Jensen from happiestmed.com. He's a proud sponsor of our show. Really, really interesting talk, man. You guys got to check this one out. This is one of my favorite episodes. The dude is like a master of the brain. Check out their products, man. They got some really cool stuff. They've got these 3 different products that they offer right now. The number 2, the number 8, and the number 14. Look them up online. Look up happiestmed.com. Look what they're for. The one's for sleep, one's for like general wellness, I believe, and the other one is for pain. It's like a roll on for pain. So if you need to be a little more happy, hop on over there and get a little happier with your CBD product. Check out this talk. I think you guys will really enjoy this. Oh, and by the way, there's a promo code on the 27th Hour podcast. If you enter the promo code, what's the promo code? 27th Hour. I'm not a very good salesman. Sorry about that. You get 10% off? 10% off. Guys, it's not that expensive anyways. Quit robbing this stuff from this guy. Go buy a whole bunch of it. Support him. He's a great guy. So thanks, Dalton. Guys, check out this episode. You'll really dig it. Welcome. You're listening to the 27th Hour with Junior
and Dre Rocket.
Get ready, strap in, and hang on.
Okay, we're on the right track. So you good? You guys find the game. I don't know.
Welcome back to the show. Episode 35. I guess we're not even really going to need to announce sponsors previous or after or any of the above because our sponsor's in the house.
That's right, man.
Dalton Jensen.
Yes, sir.
From Happiest CBD.
Yep, Happiest CBD.
And from the Thinking Project, correct?
Yep.
Dude.
The Thinking Project. There you go, man.
How long you been podcasting for?
I'm coming up on a year.
Hell
so
yeah.
just a year, man.
How many episodes you pounded out?
We pounded. I have 81 officially released.
Holy
right
shit,
now.
bro.
A couple more in the pipe. Yeah. We used to
Do you have a Dre?
Yeah, we do. We had a Dre.
You have
that
a Dre?
was awesome, bro. Yeah.
You have a guy that helps you?
Oh, no. I thought you meant, did I have Dre on?
No.
No, I don't have a Dre.
You need a Dre.
I do need a Dre.
You need a Dre. You need my wife. By the way, for everybody that's wondering, I haven't spoke of the wife in the past little bit. She's doing a little better, I think. Aren't we doing better, sweetheart? Yes, a little better. We're on the mend.
Good.
We're on the mend. So shout back out to High Point Acupuncture.
Yeah, you had her on
plug.
anyway, right?
Yeah,
that was a cool episode. She talked forever.
She's a dude.
But I mean, like in a good way, right? Like I've never had a 3-hour episode.
I've had too many. I'm a deep.
Dre and I went for 2.
I'm a deep guy, man. You went 2, Dre?
We had 2 hours.
He wasn't tapping his finger like, "Come on, fool, we gotta get up out of here."
We gotta get on out of here.
I gotta be careful, bro. I get deep, man.
That's all right.
I like to get down in there a little bit.
That's all right. But like I was saying earlier, I used to sell metal fabrication machines, and I covered the Midwest territory, so I was in metal shops every day.
Like, what were they? Like
press brakes,
ironworkers,
press brakes, big plate rolls.
This is over. Do you still have any ties?
Yeah, I do, man.
Oh my God!
But like big industrial ones, 8 foot, 110. I think the smallest press brake we sold was like a 6 foot press brake.
Oh geez, three-phase shit, and it's all 3-phase power stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we were putting them in some places where you had to dig a foundation in their warehouse.
Whoa.
Yeah, put them deep.
Yeah, dude, I just got the little stuff.
That's all right though, dude. I mean, I learned a lot about that kind of stuff, and it was cool because that's where I kind of grew up in that factory town in the Midwest.
In Iowa.
Yep.
Bro, take me through how it is to grow up in Iowa.
Dude, it's a trip growing up in Iowa. I grew up in it was a town about 10,000 people, which is a pretty big city or bigger town in Iowa. Especially when you consider like all the tiny like townships that are in Iowa. So, but it was a lot of fun. We had all kinds of factories there. So there was a factory called Griffin Wheel that made train wheels. They had an aftermarket auto manufacturer in our town. Siemens was in our town. The big wind they would.
Oh yeah, dude, they do. Yeah, power stuff.
And so every once in a while we would see these big, the wings or the turbines, the blades of the turbines. And we'd be like, is that an airplane wing? And then, we obviously figured out that it was not.
These things are 120 feet long, 121 feet long.
They'd shut down the freeway to get them out, right?
Yeah.
They'd have to cross both lanes of traffic and then to come all the way back around and go up. They were long, man.
And they built them there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, and I think they're built out of wood.
I don't know.
I think they build them out of wood, like an old propeller or something.
That's insane, man.
Iowa, dude.
So
what brings you to Utah, bro?
So that's a crazy story, man, because I was originally born in Provo. Then I moved, and I've lived all over the place because my dad he did a lot of jobs. He worked in the oil field. He was a truck driver. He worked a lot in construction. So we just moved all over the place, but we settled in Iowa for like 15 years. Because it was a lot of manufacturing and factory stuff. My dad was an HVAC guy. So he worked in another place called Pinnacle, and they made a bunch of like food and stuff. But he would work on their HVAC machines. So my wife is originally she's from Nauvoo, Illinois, which is like right across the river from my hometown. And one thing led to another, and she came out to Utah, and I was like, well, I've never been there, so I'll head out there. And then I came here. And
how'd you meet her? Just in the same area, kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean, dude, 10,000 people.
Like, hey, you're the only girl in town. Let's hook up. Dude, yeah. You're not my sister, right?
Right, exactly. So they're just super small. So we would, if you were down in Iowa, you had friends in other of the small towns, because most of the time they would go to like the same high school. So like there was one high school in Hamilton, Illinois, where everybody went to. If you lived within 30 miles of that town, you went to that school. And then we, dude, it was nuts, bro. We had that kind of same, our high school, but my high school only had 400 or 500 kids total in the whole high school. Yeah. 9 through 12. And that's crazy because there's like double that in one of the graduating classes in Utah.
Yeah, dude.
I couldn't believe that when I first experienced that. I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah,
man?
dude. So,
but other than that, dude, it was like growing up, like we jumped off of bridges into the river. We had barn parties a lot.
Hell yeah.
Barns were a big deal. Bonfires were a big deal. So
simple life.
The simple life, man.
Do you miss it?
Sure.
Do you miss being there?
I do miss Iowa sometimes. But I'm not a factory guy or like a manufacturing guy or a construction guy.
Or corn or
corn.
Yeah.
I'm not a farmer.
Wheat.
I'm not a manufacturer. I'm not a construction guy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all you get back there unless you're like a highly skilled.
Super middle class, just brute dudes.
Yep. That's like straight blue collar.
Brute.
Yep.
Brute humans. That's cool.
Like, a lot of the kids in my school went on to do like, they'd be like welders or linemen, or they would be, skilled factory worker, right? And there's a lot of respect for those guys, dude, because that's a hard job.
Hell yeah.
That's what keeps America's wheel turning, is the Midwest right there. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Those people are you people. They're different people.
They are, man.
And they're just salt of the earth, happy, easygoing. Anybody will do anything for you.
Yep. Life is slower in the Midwest too, man.
Nobody locks their doors.
No, not really.
It's just chill, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, the in my like area, that southeast Iowa, I mean, there wasn't a freeway above. I mean, there might be now, but when I was growing up, there wasn't a freeway over 65 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And we go 80
yeah.
here. A cop passes me on the I-15 going faster, right? And I'm going 80.
And all the cops in your town, you knew.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, bro.
Did you get into hunting over there? Was you into hunting?
Dude, I didn't hunt that much. That's
like
much.
a hunter's
It was, dude. I remember growing up, I mean, kids would leave school. You knew they were leaving school.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I mean, like the teachers didn't have like...
They do like Harvest Moon stuff, all that.
Yeah, man.
Crazy, man.
They would go, hunting on the Mississippi River. I live right next to the Mississippi River. So they do a lot of that, a lot of duck hunting, a lot of like turkey and then whitetail. But I mean, I ate all the stuff my friends brought back,
Sure.
but I never went.
But hiding inside you is a little entrepreneur guy. You're not,
Yeah,
you're
dude.
not doing none of that other stuff, right?
No, man, I did a lot of like the entrepreneur stuff. I was, in fact, my high school, only because they didn't know what else to call it. Because, dude, when you're back there, you see a sales guy and you think like con artist. So I was just a hustler though. But I won, most likely to be a con artist in high school.
A con artist?
Yeah, they didn't know what to call a salesperson.
Why'd you bring this guy over here, Dre? Seriously?
I've sold a lot of things. Though, dude.
Good for you, bro. Hustling,
man.
making that dollar.
Yeah, dude. So it's been a lot of fun, man.
So you had the entrepreneur blood in you right off the bat. You
Yeah,
can tell.
man. I got in trouble for selling like the packets of like candy on the playground and stuff. Because you couldn't, I'd taken money away from the a la carte at the
You like
cafeteria.
pull it out of the machine and then go double it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, we would go to like Sam's Club and buy them in bulk and then sell gushers for 50 cents less than
Dude,
the
that
cafeteria.
is a hustle, bro. Good for you, man.
We would do that, and then we got in trouble for it, but that's okay. Just moved on to the next thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So you come back to Utah.
Yeah,
You
we did.
I
Man. So we found. Go ahead.
I was gonna tie up our thing here that we found out earlier.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes.
But I don't know how to tie that in. If it's better to wait.
Oh no. So my wife. Well, I mean that's how I met my wife. I met my wife in the Midwest. We came out to Utah. I met some of her family. And that's when I met Ray, and that's how you know Ray.
Yeah.
Or Ray through lineman, right? How long has he been a lineman? Forever.
Ray Jimison. Shout out Ray Jimison. I'm trying to think how long.
It's been a while. Though,
I would lie to you if I would guess, but
yeah.
Wow, what a
Yeah,
good
dude.
guy. So we're
Yeah.
upstairs. This is how this happened real quick. You come to here and you're doing our show, and I really appreciate your help and your support and all this. And I'm doing sponsorship, all that good stuff. And I'm like, man, let's show you the tattoo shop real quick. We'll let Dre finish setting up his stuff and make sure we're good. And
Yeah.
I'll show you the shop. So we go up there. One thing leads to another. I'm a chatty catty guy for sure. I can't remember what brought up lineman something.
Well, yeah. I
I
don't know.
said
You said you were.
I
a
quit
lineman.
my job.
Yeah.
Is what I said. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I've just since quit my job. Because I wanted to give back sponsorships someday. I would love to just support everybody that I could.
Yeah.
Definitely not in the cards as of right now, but that's what brought it up. And said, yeah, as a lineman, and he's like, oh, there's one of two ways this conversation goes when people know linemen. Usually they don't, and it's like a phone guy or a McFrugal guy, or it's a communications person or something.
Right.
People think lineman. I know a lineman. It's like, lineman, right? So you're like, yeah, your uncle.
Yeah, uncle. Yeah.
Is a lineman, but he's in California. I'm like, yeah, what's his name? Ray Jimison. I about shit my pants, bro. I know that kid so well. Very, very, very dear friend of mine. I love that man.
I love Ray.
I've tattooed him a whole bunch.
Did you cover up his naked lady on his arm?
Yeah, dude. I tattooed that. So I put that on him, and then he wanted it gone.
Yeah, when he married Kelsey.
Yeah, dude.
So.
I've tattooed her too.
Have you really? Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, dude. That's a wild story. But yeah, I think he got that wiped off because he didn't want the kids to.
Yeah, he's got 3 girls.
Yeah,
it's probably not the best thing to run around.
He's got a mustache. It's about this long.
Yeah, handlebar mustache, bro. It's ugly, bro.
You better be listening, Ray, you little bastard.
He's ugly.
Dude, that was just the world is this big, bro.
It's weird, bro.
And it's the first time I met you today in person. And
yep.
Dre knows you. That's, that we tied it all up. But man, this world is so small.
Dude, it's incredible. And the funny thing about Ray is like me and Ray hit it off as soon as we met, for the most part. He's kind of one of those guys like, he was like, my niece is getting married. He was excited, and then he met me, and my wife was like, Uncle Ray picks on everybody and this. And I had an uncle very similar to Ray growing up, so I was like ready for it.
Yeah.
But no, we started talking, and he was like, oh, yeah. I mean, I think he gives me crap every now and then, but I'll give it right back, and we have a fun tit for tat kind of thing.
That is just solid human right there. It's good people, man. Him and his wife both they're great people.
Yeah. And now he's got 3 feisty awesome, fiery daughters.
Good for him. Coming right back at him.
It's coming.
You deserve it, Ray. You little dick. You should have been a little nicer. He is a
bro.
very, 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 very quality lineman. He's a good lineman, man.
Yeah.
Really good lineman. He worked with me for quite a while. We worked together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. That's just so funny how that happened.
Yeah, dude. That's great, bro.
So you're married. You're doing your thing.
Yeah.
What's your first? Like, what's your job history? What have you done, bro?
Sure, man. Yeah, I was in the automotive industry for a long time, but by degree, I'm an accountant. And then I started Happiest. We started that. I started a little accounting firm. And that's what we do right now, dude. And now I sell.
That's CBD, by the way.
Yeah, dude. It was crazy. We were in the car business, and I was like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of this thing. And I was like, I wanted to sell something. I'd heard of like drop shipping, Amazon FBA. I did some research, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, like Shopify, stuff like that. And but I wanted to sell something. So like it was one like snowy day in the car business, like nobody was coming in to buy a car. And so I was just looking on like Alibaba and AliExpress, and I'm like, oh, dude, we could make like a flip-flop vending machine, or we,
It's got that mind,
you
huh?
know what I mean? We could do like, we could sell something cool, I was like, we could sell little drones. You go on Alibaba and buy little 4K movie drones for like $30. You could sell them for $180 to $100. Really easy.
Why are we not doing this?
Yeah, dude. Because now it's like with the whole iPhone thing, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I was doing.
You got that mind, bro. I love
that's
this.
what I was doing. I was like, we could do that. I was looking on eBay, doing all that stuff. And then I had a buddy who was working with me, and I was like, dude, what would you sell? And he was like, the first thing he said was like, we should do like a restaurant. And I was like, nah, the margins are too small in a restaurant. You got to really love being in that restaurant industry to make it work in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's not do that. And then he said, let's sell CBD. And a light came on, dude. And I was like, that's it.
Wait, what year is this though? Like,
This was okay. Believe this or not, this was January 2020. We were going through this.
I'm gonna open up this heat real quick. Keep
All
talking.
right,
Keep talking.
But it's January 2020, and by this time, like, we hadn't really heard about anything with the pandemic or anything. Like, there were whispers. My friend in the business with me is like a super big conspiracy theorist. So but every time he talks to me, it's like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, this thing in China's, this virus is going to kill everybody.
So what year was it?
It was 2020. January 2020 is when we started.
It's new.
Yeah. This business is only a year old.
Okay. I was absent. Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. And then, so we're talking about that, and he says CBD. I'm like, yep. So we found another partner who was really good with like website stuff. We found a supplier, actually. So this is one of the taglines for Happiest is locally owned, locally sourced, because we found a wholesale supplier in Utah that we could wholesale from.
Nice.
So I got in touch with them. They let us white label their product. So this is our own brand. This is our own product. We worked with them to get the formulas for the sleep aid and for the broad spectrum. And then we put it up online and went to work.
Is it just going at it, ain't it? Is it
Yeah,
doing
man.
well?
Yeah, dude,
Doing well.
we're doing pretty good.
Good.
CBD, so we start this company and officially in February, the pandemic hits and my supplier calls me and he's like, hey, we've got too much of this stuff. Like, you either need to buy it now or we're not going to have enough. And so I was like, all right, cool. So it was the day of lockdown and I cut a check, like a big check for this inventory. And my wife freaked out. She was like, what are you doing? What's going to happen?
Because you had to buy it or lose it?
Well, so CBD has a shelf life of a certain amount of time.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a long shelf life. It's like 2 years, but with what they were doing to discount it, everybody was coming after the products.
Does THC, does marijuana have a shelf life?
So, I mean, okay, so when I say shelf life, I'm talking the legalities behind it all.
Okay,
and
okay.
You know what I mean? So everything has to have one.
Sure.
I don't think so. I don't think it's it's very arbitrary, right? They just have to have something on there to cover their butts. And I think it does lose some of like its potency after a while, you know, after it sits and does nothing for a while, if it's not growing or something like that.
Right.
So we cut the check, bought all the inventory. So yeah, this isn't drop shipped or anything. We hold the inventory and we push it out.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
Where's the maybe you can't say that, but the people that grow it, are they local?
Yeah, Sandy. So
okay,
I don't know where
there's a huge one right down the road here, a huge farm.
Yeah, I think that's probably who they're with.
Okay.
You know, and so we got all of our stuff.
Power to it when I was alignment. I'm like, damn, it's a big service, bro. What are you doing out there? He's like, growing CBD. I'm like,
growing hemp.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so hemp is legal. Hemp is all legal. Right.
Hemp. Okay, so school me up here.
So hemp is like I can't remember if it's I think it's the male plant. It's the male plant of the cannabis sativa.
Okay.
So like hemp doesn't have any THC. So like the Romans used to burn hemp seeds because they didn't know what else to burn.
What's it for? What do they do with hemp? Just they make rope and shit. I know that.
Oh yeah. So it was a textile primarily, but it also had all the benefits of like marijuana, like as far as like for inflammatory.
So you can ingest it then.
Hemp. Yeah. So and like Crohn's disease, that's a big one for CBD.
Shout out Justin.
Yeah. So that's I was actually on the other side of the beehive.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, he told
by
me.
the way.
I know. I need to get.
Goddamn you fools!
I need to get a freaking shirt. I was waiting for.
Shout out the other side of the beehive.
Yeah.
Holla, Justin, Angel. So
I need to get a shirt with those guys. I'm also waiting for my
shameless plug.
Sweater from. It's all good. Hey, that's the whole point of this is like because when the tide rises, we all rise.
And you're sponsoring all of us.
Yeah, man.
God,
dude, it's
you're a stud, bro.
I had to think. First of all, I had to think of something different. We kind of got. Facebook was weird. Like sometimes you see advertisements for CBD, but it's very finicky. Like you won't see the whole bottle, right? Or you'll see like a picture of a dog and they'll say like animal CBD or something. And sometimes you'll do that and Facebook will just be like, we don't feel like it today. So we spent like 6 months on Facebook and it would just like.
So they can just block you or not let you.
Dude, I put up like a very, like if it says CBD or like I said, dude, if they're just not feeling it that day.
Just look at like 420 boys.
Yeah.
Just look around you, man. It's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. So like, and like you could have CBD groups on Facebook, but if anybody in the CBD group started to advertise, they would shut the group down. Like Facebook just had cronies everywhere, bro.
They see big dollars.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna get you.
I don't know what it was. So we spent about 6 months on Facebook, didn't see anything. And then I was like, well, now it's my turn. Cause my partner was like, I really like this guy. He's going to do a lot of good work. And he did a lot of good work for us, but it was just trying to get around Facebook was too hard.
Right.
So I was like, all right, it's my turn. And then, by that time I had my podcast pretty well established. I had enough contacts that I was like, everybody needs their first sponsor.
Was the podcast to support this?
Yeah.
That's the idea.
So that's the other things. All right. So we started Happiest and we quickly realized that this is going to be really hard because merchanting is more expensive. Advertising is almost nothing. Like, dude, are you familiar with Reddit? You know what Reddit is?
Yeah, I don't use it, but I know what it is.
But like this underground subreddit stuff, right? You couldn't even advertise CBD on Reddit. It's gnarly, dude.
Dude, it's legal in Utah now.
It's legal. So
marijuana's legal.
Marijuana, yeah.
She has her card. My wife has her medical card.
Yeah, that's great, and it should be. But like CBD's legal under the 2018 Farm Bill, like hemp is. So you can like that's.
God, they shouldn't mess with you. That's so weird, bro.
It's weird, bro. Well, I tell people like it's so unregulated that it's too regulated.
Right.
You know, like nobody, like I couldn't get a bank account from like I went to America First, and they were like, "Well, do you sell marijuana related products?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "All right, never mind, we can't." I went to 3 banks before one of them.
Do you have to have the name in there? I guess you do have to have CBD in there, huh?
Well, no.
Like,
so my name
BCD.
right. So no, my name with the IRS and like legally is just Happiest.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say CBD. It doesn't say anything like that. But yeah, dude. So like banking was hard, merchanting was hard, advertising was hard. So I started the podcast because if you listen to it, from day one, the Happiest has been a sponsor. So I started it to like promote it myself.
Yeah.
the business, and then to help small businesses. So yeah, man. And then we started. So I was like, if I'm going to spend money on Facebook and they're not going to give me anything and they're going to give me a hard time, I might as well spend that same amount of money and just go to these podcasts.
Hell
because
yeah.
because in my experience, I've never bought something off a Facebook ad personally. Like I've never been like, oh, I like that product on Facebook. I click the ad, click into their website, buy the product and finish it. I've never done that.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I have seen one of my friends go, dude, I love this. You should try it. And I went and bought it.
Right.
So that was the idea behind just going to all the podcasts.
Right. Dude, that's a solid move, man.
And it was fun, dude. And we get to meet a lot of cool people. So
And people rally, bro. Like, people rally when you rally up the troops, man. Everybody's on board, and I think you hopefully our listeners will just flood this thing, man. I hope.
Dude, I hope so.
They seem to be, our listeners seem to be pretty loyal to what we're doing, and it's our community. It's part of. They're not just people. I know 99% of them. I know their names and their families, and it's not a huge following, but it's a very loyal following.
And that's what the idea was, right?
It's
a
good idea.
Is like, let's get the people who have influence, right?
Yeah.
Because and so here's my whole thing, because I'm very stoic about the way I approach life. Is like, even if like I didn't get anything from Facebook, so even if I don't get anything from this, I will still have had like the relationships and the trust built in the community, and people will know us better than if we just went on Facebook.
And look at the people that you're helping now. What
exactly
do that? You're concreting in some stuff there, bro.
Yeah. So even if I don't get, and obviously I want to sell, right? Don't get me wrong, but I like the idea of of no matter what happens, like we helped people somehow.
Sure.
Right.
Well, it's reciprocity. I'm sure you understand that. It comes back, man. You put out what
I do.
It comes back to you.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If not more, you do more. What's up?
I was just gonna say, like, it's true, man. And you're giving a really dope product. You know, when I bought the freeze, me as a DJ, like I said it in my promo, like I'm on my feet all the time. I'm on the go. I got 10 different jobs, right? So I'm always on the go. And when I DJ for 4 to 5 hours on a Friday, and then I DJ again for another 4 to 5 hours on a Saturday, that's 10 hours of me standing on my feet like all day. Right. So my legs are sore, right? But I put on that roll-on freeze, the number 14. Ooh, it works so good.
So you've used it then.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't had the chance. I'm excited.
I'm a big fan of the
excited.
freeze. And another reason why I love the freeze is because it's odorless. I mean, it has a was it menthol?
It's got menthol.
Slight menthol smell. Slight. And the reason why I say slight is because I was using Bengay at the time, and the Bengay was just too strong. Like,
dude, that smells so good.
Yeah. What wakes up my wife? Like, yeah, I couldn't use it.
Yeah.
So using the number 14, I could go to sleep, not have it on my sheets, and not have to worry about any of that stuff.
Smells good.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend that product. I'm actually just ordering the sleep aid, so I'm excited to use that as well.
Yeah,
that'll be
dude.
cool, man. Sleep aid will be good.
I need fucking whole bunch of this. Sorry to put you in the
Dude, it'll knock you out, man. My wife uses the sleep aid, and I use the number 2 right before. So that was the other thing. Like, I learned a lot about branding too, because you know, the partner I have was like, you don't go to Apple and buy a cell phone, right? You go to Apple and you buy an iPhone. There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can go buy a cell phone at Walmart.
Sure.
I can't buy an iPhone at Walmart.
You have to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like
Their
you know,
product.
like, you know, you wouldn't be like, you got an iPhone. I don't have a cell phone. I have an iPhone, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
So you know, we didn't want to sell CBD. We wanted to sell number 8. You know, a branding. You know, number 14, number 2, right? So
How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm 27 in a week.
Dude.
Yeah. There you go, man.
You are
I don't look like
you are wise ahead of your years, my man.
Once I met Dalton and I started introducing him to all the folks.
We're the fogies over here, bro. We're old.
Anytime I talk about him, like he's like Forrest Gump. Like he's so young, but he does everything. Like, I didn't even know about the not lineman work that you did, but the You were talking about it earlier.
Oh,
that type of work that you
yeah,
do.
metal.
accounting,
Yeah.
or the metal fabrication.
The
Yeah,
fab
dude, I
work.
sold those. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
was a sweet gig.
I didn't even know that, and
Yeah.
it's just
Right.
it's always something new with him.
Dude, I'm
Got to pull it out, man.
I'm blown away. Yeah, you 27, bro.
Yeah.
You've lived a little life here.
Dude, my wife says I have an old soul. I studied a lot of I think what happened was I got into like philosophy really young.
Dude.
Yeah, philosophy really young. So
I'll be careful. I won't go down these rabbit holes.
You
I
can do
promise.
whatever you want, bro. I've had
Wait,
fun,
is this
bro.
my show?
Yeah, it is your
That's
show.
right. God damn it.
Dude.
Shout out Happiest CBD.
Yeah,
damn
man.
it. Go on there and buy it right now.
So
Do
there
it.
you go. So number eight is obviously for sleep. Right?
How much of this do I take, bro? Is there good
you
stuff
take a
on
dropper. Yeah, you just take a full dropper.
there? One full dropper.
One full dropper. And then go from there. So number 8 is for 8 sleep. Number 14, this was mainly for like the sports people demographics.
For pain and
Yep, your muscles. And 14 was my high school football number.
now keep
Yeah.
going.
And then
I'm
number
sorry.
2 is it's got 2 ingredients.
Are there more numbers? You got others. This is it.
This is it.
This is
all
the product.
free. Yep.
This is it.
We figured out that we could go real.
Simplify it, bro. I love that.
Yeah, dude, because you go on like some of these websites and they're like, we have CBD shaving cream and doggy treats and wet wipes.
Well, and they'll do the same. People aren't stupid, right? So you'll do number 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever
Yeah.
many numbers, and it's
Right.
the same thing.
Yeah.
People aren't stupid,
Right, right.
I think that's cool that you do that. You
Yeah, so yeah,
simplify it to a
and-
mastery.
And
It's
you
cool.
could buy all this. I mean, CBD is booming, right? Like it's a big business right now, and we wanted our piece of the pie.
What is that going to do with the medicinal and recreational and all that? Are people still reaching for CBD even though?
I think so. So here's the other thing that we did at Happiest, right? So you'll notice, like, if you've been on our website and you see like our labels, like we don't have any green on them. There's no flowers on them, like marijuana flowers. And there's no, like, we don't sell gummies like on purpose, because we wanted to reach the market who, we're in Utah. So I wanted to reach like the Mormon market.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? The people who might not go to, because there's a lot of people out there and this is like, so I'll go out like on a side tangent, right? Social media really messed us all up. You know, we started saying things to people's faces that we wouldn't normally say to them in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you meet somebody on the street and you have a talk about politics, you realize really quickly that we're pretty much all on the same, like we have pretty similar views.
Yeah.
For the most part, right? The core stuff we can agree on. And I found that out when I started talking to people, because I'm active LDS. And I found out that when I talk to people about marijuana and my views, because I'm very liberal in my views about that, that, when I talked about it, it's used for medicine and used for ceremony, most people agreed with me. They were like, I wouldn't participate, right? But I get it. But then the more evidence that came out for medicinal marijuana, like its healing purposes, right? And its healing properties, people started to go there, but they're like still leery about the THC. But they'll take CBD. And I was like, well, let's go for that then. But they don't want like because you have different demographics, right? They don't want like the smoke shop CBD, which is still great, right? Like if you go buy your CBD, they're like, good for you.
Yeah.
But some people want like they want the brand, right? And they want a brand they can feel comfortable with. They want all the stuff. And so they'll go do that. Right. And so I wanted to create a customer, not pull market share, create market share. So
You sure you're 27, bro?
right, dude.
Are you sure? 27th hour. Holla.
27th. That's right. Man. So
Damn, man. That's solid, bro.
So we wanted to go after the people who wouldn't normally take it because they don't like THC or whatever.
What? They don't like THC. That's where I'm going quickly.
Go. Let's go.
What? That was the name of my old podcast. Shameless plug on Let's Go. We had the Salty Sex Cast people on and did a beautiful show that opened my eyes to a whole bunch of just stuff I don't know. I love to be checked like that, right? So
yeah.
that whole episode was a whole world that none of us we didn't know.
Yeah, you told me about that. Was that here, Dre?
Yeah, that was here. And then
That's cool, dude.
Now him and his wife are swingers, and so
Yeah.
they're open.
Polyamorous, bro. It's totally different.
My bad.
They're different.
I didn't even know that damn word.
Yeah.
So going
Actually-
into that,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I actually got confused because I knew a few of those people in the car business, and they said they're like, it would bring it very casually, and they're like, I'm poly, and so I'm half Hawaiian, and I'm like, you don't look.
You're
I was
a white
like,
guy.
I was like, I know for sure I don't look Polynesian, but I am, but I know for sure that you're not.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
So my grandpa is Hawaiian, my mom's Hawaiian, and so I'm like an eighth, but
Shout out back to our last pod. Anyway, I'll quit doing that.
yeah, no, dude. But so they would say like, I'm poly, and I was like, I know for sure you're not poly. And they're like, no, I'm polyamorous, and I was like, oh,
What the hell does that mean?
okay.
So
Yeah, back to THC.
It opened my. I'm a very, 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 as you are, I can tell, a very open person. It triggered a word when you said they don't like THC. They won't. It seems to me you can't even say them words. I don't believe a human can say them words if you haven't tried it.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
when I went through that thing with them girls, they're talking. It was a really cool episode, man. They're very, very educated, and they're like, I don't know, just go on and on and on down these roads that I had no idea of how they worked, and I just sat there thinking the whole time, like, how can I say no to anything that I've never tried before? And I brought that up to them. So that just brings me to the THC thing. Because we've been taught our whole life. Everybody thinks of DARE and the drug thing, and you see the marijuana leaf. You see
screw
it.
DARE.
That's the thing. You see it.
Yeah, I hate DARE. The DARE program was the worst thing in the.
Is it even still going?
No, I hope not. I think it is, but I think they rebranded it. I don't think they do the same
What's
thing.
the one thing in branded in your mind? Was it when you were a kid still?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some of that. Yeah.
The one thing I see a joint burning, and I see a pot leaf.
Yeah.
Like
man.
that was all,
Yeah,
and a pill
Yeah.
with like a thing.
Yeah.
So it's just funny to me that it's such a beautiful medicine.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm not going to go down the whole pharmaceutical road, all this,
Because we could.
it comes from the ground.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's, I just say to people that say no, that's true lack of knowledge. Like if try it, man, try CBD, graduate, just try.
Yes, do something.
Do your CBD stuff.
Yeah.
And then don't say no unless you've actually tried it. Or
I agree, man.
don't shun things, to the end of time. I mean, it's bad, and you're a horrible human.
Yeah,
and
don't
a
make a
devil
judgment
worshiper.
on it if you've never done it.
No, man.
Because you have
so
no
just,
clue.
It makes me sad, man.
It does.
It's a beautiful medicine.
And I feel like one of the things I was meant to do in life was kind of challenge that narrative in my culture as an LDS.
As a good
guy.
LDS guy, that is a ballsy move, bro.
I don't really care though.
No, that's props to you.
No, I appreciate
Beautiful.
it. But
Beautiful.
I get a lot of people like, how do you still make it? And I'm like, well, when you have the right people, because there's a lot more people like me, and there's a lot more people like me than you realize, because they're quieter than me, and then there's a lot of people who are louder than me. But I just go, when I explain it to people, I say marijuana, first of all, it's only been illegal for not that long. Like, we have people on this earth who've lived longer than marijuana's been illegal, even today, right?
And illegal. So
illegal. Sorry.
No, I think that's what you said. I'm just making sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's only been illegal for a very short period of time.
Like 60s or
something like that. I don't remember like the exact date, but I read a book on the history of cannabis, and that's kind of what opened my eyes up, right? Yeah. Like, did you ever see? There's like this Instagram reel that was like, have you seen those things that were like, "Tell me you're not without telling me you're not"?
No.
Like those kind of videos. Okay, so there's some that are like tell me. So the one I'm referring to is like, tell me you're not left or right without telling me you're not left or right. And this guy has his phone and he pans it over and he's got a whole book, like a wall full of books, right? And the thing behind that was like, because when you start reading, you start learning, then you start realizing like the truth is in the middle, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that was funny. So that was my thing. Like, I started reading about cannabis and I was like, okay, well, let's figure this out. and the way I argue with people is not argue, but the way I help educate people is that number one, it's like the media took a very small portion of people who abused marijuana and made that the poster child.
Sound bites.
You know what I'm saying?
Same thing.
you know what I mean?
Take what you want and make it.
Yeah, they're like they took a very subculture, which is fine. I mean, like, and by the way, if you want to do that, like, I don't
Sure.
whatever.
People make a good living doing it.
Yeah, but that very like very small subculture and they blast it. Most of the time, it's people use it medicinally and they use it ceremonially. So like a lot of these psychedelics that you get in like South America, like if you went into a tribe and tried to get ayahuasca, they would tell you no. They would kick you out. Right? Hey, can I party with you guys and get some ayahuasca, some DMT? They'd be like, no, get the out, right? Because
Really?
that's not what we use it for.
Yeah, it's ceremonial.
It's healing, right?
Yes.
It's very purposeful, and they don't give you a lot, right? So that's what I tell people. I'm like, it was just abused, and the media did a really good job of taking one piece of it and blowing it out of proportion.
Right.
But because most of the time, like people that I know that really use it, it heals them, it helps them.
Do you use it allegedly?
I don't. I don't. I'm an advocate. But here's the thing though, is I wouldn't, if it ever came up to where it was like, I have a choice between X or like pharmaceutical drugs or marijuana, I would take marijuana.
It's saved her life.
100%.
So all the
and
stuff.
my wife takes the number 2 and the number 8. And her personal story is it helped her get off some of the medicines that a therapist recommended, right? Some of the antidepressants and stuff.
Made her feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Number 2
Hey, see,
and
I'm
an
so
8.
good at this advertising.
It's an 8 and a 2. That's Dre Rocca.
You know
By
what?
the way.
Dalton, you have a great take on the whole Oregon thing.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of.
Oh yeah. So do you know what they did in Oregon?
They legalized drugs.
Well, they decriminalized drugs.
My bad.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
as it should be across the board.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it all should be legal. Well, and my big thing that Dre is mentioning is I believe in rehabilitation versus prison.
I listened to your episode with the 420 boys. I think you talked a lot about that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm the guy who I would legalize it all.
Yep.
Right. I would legalize everything that you could think of. I would do.
Pretty amazing when you put accountability on people. What happens, right?
Yeah.
We get where we're going quicker. Things happen. Things start happening, right?
Yeah. Now Oregon has a lot of other problems, but the one thing they got right was, so far they're taking steps in the right direction to like help rehabilitate people, you know, and kind of stigmas.
And I haven't followed. I don't watch the news. I'm very.
You shouldn't. I don't either.
I don't. We do not watch the news here. It's not. I don't even know who our president is. Sorry to say that, but isn't that going good? Have you heard like what I've understood? It seems to be, oh my God, working.
Yeah, it's the right choice for sure. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just
let's beat this dead dog over and over and over. Let's try something different, man.
Well, I'm for ending the war on drugs and ending the war for drugs.
Right.
So because they're both right.
Right.
So like my favorite analogy is like, there's a rapist loose in my neighborhood. And you catch the rapist, rape goes down, right? If someone's smoking weed in my neighborhood and you arrest this guy smoking weed usage doesn't go down in my neighborhood.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
And everybody's just going to be happy and wants to touch each other.
Just whatever, yeah. Just
eat Cheetos.
Yeah, I just let it go, bro. That's what I say. I'm like, really? What are you going to do, man? You're going to arrest this 17-year-old for a dime bag? Are you kidding me? Like, come on.
I listened to your episode with them guys earlier. I actually listened to that one today.
Cool.
It's funny. I have a lot of law enforcement on this show. A lot. So I tattoo. So most of the clientele or the people that come on the show are clientele, the people we tattoo, and we get their cool stories and they're Ray Jimisons and they're and on and on and on.
Yeah.
We tie it up that way usually. So it's usually tattoo clients that I'm talking to. And I don't even know a percentage. We've only done 35 episodes, but a majority of them are law enforcement in some way, shape, or form, whether it be corrections or they're all the same people. They're beautiful, beautiful people.
Yeah.
I think they're more educated than people think. I truly believe, as a whole, I'm sure it seems quite the opposite, but with my experience doing with how we do it, we have it and all that stuff. It's one of the people I do on here has a that I've tattooed. I do on here. I tattoo trains dogs. Has trained narcotics dogs. They don't even smell for marijuana anymore. The dog doesn't know what that smells like. So they don't even train the dog to do that anymore.
Yeah.
They don't know marijuana from a grab.
Yeah. Well,
so it's no longer it's on the
yeah, yeah, it's yeah. I think you're right. And don't get me wrong, like when I talk about marijuana and I talk about prescription medication and I talk about law enforcement and things like that, I have no ill will towards doctors.
Oh, no.
Or you know what I mean, or law enforcement.
Like I didn't mean that at all.
Yeah, no, but I just, I want to make that clear because that's sometimes where I get in trouble is like I don't clarify that and people are like, what? So you want to defund the police?
That episode was pretty aggressive. Some of them people were, God, make yourself go educate yourselves. It's like that's a broad statement, man.
Yeah.
Which it's fine, but
right.
Because I think good people everywhere, man.
Because I think you're right. Yeah, I think a lot. I don't think that would happen. 9 times out of 10. I don't even think it happened very often, right? Because I think there's a lot of good people out there who understand. Yeah, and it's for sure. It's not a police problem at all. It's a human being problem. Well, yeah, dude. It's really like, I love police officers. The where it starts is with like legislation with these politicians who get in office and they have no clue what's going on, dude. Like I'm more mad. And by the way, I have politician friends who like I have those conversations with, and we can have civilized. But I get kind of frustrated because they'll say something and I'll be like, dude, that's not even true. Yeah. Like I'm like, there's no way no. They're like, well, we don't want all of our kids using it, and I'm like, well, first of all, they already are, and like second of all, if that's the worst thing that happened to our high schools, we'd probably be a little bit better off than where we're at right now. Thank you. Nobody gets high and goes and wrecks a car. Yeah, it's the world's changing, man. It's coming. Dude. It's coming fast. Yeah, man. And so I'll do that. I'll have just the other day I had someone call me from my church, and they were like, "Can you help me explain CBD to this family who really needs it, but they won't do it because they think of X, Y, and Z?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, put them on the phone. Let's go." Right. We'll just start educating people. Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
Let me find out you're like the Mormon like hotline for CBD
or anything. By the way, anything. I have
why is it such a taboo thing for them? What for them? That's horrible to say.
No, it's fine. Dude.
For that. Why? Yeah. How come?
I don't know, dude. To be honest with you, I think it's just lack of education.
Thank you.
It's just lack of education.
Thank you.
And that's fine.
Can we monetize that? Yeah. Like, can we really start the...
Are we writing all this down? Let's record it.
Yeah.
Should monetize it.
We should.
Dalton's hotline for CBD.
Yeah.
For
I used to be the guy that they would...
LDS CBD.
I used to be the guy that was called... I served an LDS mission. So I'm from Iowa.
Yeah.
And that's why I have to preface it, because I served an LDS mission in Utah. I served in southern Utah. And I used to be like but I also grew up in a very like in the LDS church history, like Nauvoo is very significant. And so like I learned all about church history. I learned all the good stuff and all the bad stuff. Because like certainly just like every other religion that was started in the 1800s, Mormons messed up a lot. And by the way, and for people who like, I'll get heat for that, but whatever, dude. Just go read the books. Yeah. You'll know. And so I used to be the one that people would call like during my mission and after my mission, like, "Hey, did you know that like our church did this?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. Absolutely." And then we talked through it. We served right next to the Mountain Meadow Massacre Memorial. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of questions about that, but it just comes down to like no one's perfect, right? They did some messed up stuff.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, so
not even kind of close.
So I and you take the good with the bad, and you decide for yourself, and then we shake hands and we're friends, right?
I think that's cool, man. Is the ward correct? Is it a ward?
Yeah.
Are they open to you? Well, obviously you're the dealer.
Right, dude.
Are they open? We'll edit that out.
No. I
don't you edit?
Like, no. I sell legal marijuana for sure.
Are they open to it though?
Some of them are. Yeah.
are you shunned? Some people.
No. I think some people have a problem with me, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm
That
cool
means you're
with it.
doing stuff.
Yeah, it means and so that's what I also tell people. I'm very comfortable with where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because I start every conversation with like, look, because like I said earlier, I approach everything very stoically, and so I care about one thing. I care about the truth. So if someone says something to me, like, like they call me fat, right? Well, that's the truth. So like, why would that offend me, right? And so someone calls me, and so someone says I don't know what I'm talking about, and I go, well, that's probably not true, right? So this shouldn't offend me.
Right.
If it's true, it can only help me, and if it's not true, it can't hurt me.
Criticism is a weird thing.
Right, dude.
It is.
What about the what is it? The court of public opinion though, because
That's tough, dude.
it's not
That's hard.
true, but it can still hurt you.
Yeah, that's true.
What is
Well,
it? What is it?
The court of public opinion is what Dre said.
I don't even. What is that? What's that?
So
I guess I'm not
go
into
ahead.
So like in
Help
the
me.
court of public
Set it up.
opinion, so like if I said something and it might be considered, it might be taken out of context, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody on social media is like, Dre is a racist because he said he doesn't like Donald Trump.
I get this all
right?
the time. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's same thing, right?
Cancel
So
culture,
in the
yeah.
court of public opinion, even though
Okay.
nobody knows Junior, right? Only your friends know you.
Right.
If somebody heard that you are so pro law enforcement, they might take that and say, well, he is anti-black.
Right.
Right. And then now in the court of public opinion,
Yeah.
Junior is now a racist that doesn't like black people.
That's funny, man.
So it's not true.
No, it's
but
not,
it can
right.
still hurt you.
Well,
That's
so
not funny. That's just the idea of that is ridiculous.
well, to go to that point though, yeah, like it can hurt my public image, right? But I read this book that changed my life. It was called it's by Kate Bowler. Dude, why am I blanking right now?
Kate Bowler?
Yeah, dude. Here's what it's called. It's called Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies I've Loved.
Oh wow.
And that's her book. And dude, you got to go read it. But the reason I like that book and the reason why it ties into this situation is because, because that's happened to me before. Like I've been publicly called out in like my church, like you're
In front of everybody, kind of.
Yep. Stood right up, said you're a liar, right in front of all my peers, and walked out. And then
You got up and walked out?
No, I don't give
Oh, okay.
bro.
They did.
They're like, you're lying, you're wrong, and they left. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's just keep going then, right? And then there was a big, thing, and I had to go talk to people, and I was like, but if I'm wrong, then we can learn together. But I wasn't wrong. I was like, so in the court of public opinion, I've been burned a few times, but you bounce back, I guess.
Well, who's to say who? There's a quote. I'm a big quote guy. I do a lot of the. There's no right or wrong. It's what we believe to be. There's no good. There's no evil. There's no. Everything is just what you believe to be. So it's so funny to me that
those are labels. Yeah.
I talked about labels last time.
Right, dude.
I don't live there, man. Along with the way you go, when you're causing a ruckus and you're stirring the pot, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it makes me feel good.
You got waves. That means you're doing shit.
Yeah, dude.
So the other people want to talk shit on that guy because they don't do anything. I truly believe it's when we sit and we don't do things. Man, it's just sad that people want to attack people for doing good and doing them. Just even if it's bad, it doesn't matter, man. It's you.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is like so all of that's happened to me. Like, things that would normally offend some people in that group. I'm just like whatever because we're all. I don't know, dude. I always feel like, you just never know what's going on with somebody that day.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So like, they could have been having a bad day and took it out on me. And by the way, I would prefer that. Cause I can take it.
You can handle it.
Yeah. If you're having a bad day and you got something to say, you say it to me. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
You sure you're 27?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. When did you? What is it? Your faith that helped you learn empathy and? Because not a lot of people are able to just be a punching bag, right?
Yeah.
And where does the punching bag go? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Again. Yeah. That's a long story, but I think the main thing what helped me out the most is I brought it up 3 or 4 times in this. Yeah, are you turning that up? Are you turning it up? Good for you. No. I'm good, man. Good for you. I think where I learned that from, though, is I brought it up like 3 or 4 times. I stumbled upon a philosophy that helped me understand who I was, and it was Stoicism. It's kind of making a big comeback, but like I studied a lot of different religions. I was only a few credits away from getting a philosophy degree in college before I like quit.
Does the plot get any deeper with this guy? Go ahead.
Dude. So I am a member of the LDS Church, but I also really like how the Buddhists teach. I really like what they do. In fact, one time I went to, so I like Oregon because Dre and I have a connection. We both lived in Portland, and that's where I went to school. But one day I was in my ward in Portland, and the Buddhists have 10 rights to life. So very similar to the 10 Commandments, something like that. They have a right way to live, right? So I can't remember all of them right now, but I remember at that time I put it up in my church. I didn't label it at all. I was like from Dalton. Like I didn't try to take credit for anything. I just said posted up by Dalton, and I put these 10 things from Buddhism, and they're like, "Wow, that's amazing. Everybody should do that." Everybody in the ward, they're like, "You should do that. We should do that." Oh, wow. That was amazing. And I was like, perfect. I was like, actually, because it's from Buddhism.
You know what he just
did? You say it?
He fed meat to vegetarians.
Right, dude. And they were like, what?
Tough and hoof.
They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, dude, because that was my point. I was like, you guys are tripping over nothing.
Yeah.
Like, Buddhism really isn't, by the way, it's not technically a religion, like, definably, right? There's no it's
like superior of self kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just how to live better, right?
Yeah.
So because like when you think about Buddhism, like you don't just go to it's not like an Abrahamic religion where you accept Jesus or you recite a prayer and you're in, you're baptized and you're in. Buddhism is just like, here you go if you want it sweet, if not whatever, right?
That's beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, dude. So there's nothing, right? I feel like one of the reasons these structured religions get in trouble is like piety. So like
piety.
So piety is like so let's just talk about Mormons because we're really close to that, right?
Hell yeah.
So even though in the Mormon religion you have a lay ministry, which means they're not paid and they're not trained, there is some kind of piety, right? So they look for people who are, quote unquote, like more, they're living closer to the standards than someone else is, right?
Okay.
That's what piety is, right? So you get in like this hierarchy.
Gotcha.
And so that's one of the big problems people have with organized religion, right? Is this piety is like, I have to be better than everybody else if I want to get closer. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal, right? So with Buddhism, there's none of that. There's like monks who devote their lives, but they're them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If people would just own their heart,
yeah.
I think we would be
a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have nothing against any religions at all.
Me either, man.
Other than I awkwardly don't know enough about it.
Sure.
To like go in any direction, but I most certainly am a human of I have to physically touch it, see it, smell it, something. My senses got to work for me to do it, to be part of something like that. And so it's just incredible to me that with unbelievable, because we live right here. I've been here my whole life. I grew up right here.
Oh, cool.
I was forced baptized at the age of 8. It really took me on a weird journey through my life. I didn't understand why. I didn't ever even been to the church. I didn't know anything about it.
Kidding.
But I was forced to do this thing, and that opened my eyes immediately. Like, what is going on with it? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
So that to me always hit me as a young man. I was 8, man, and I didn't have logical thought back then, still barely do. But I remember it vividly being confused, like, this is really weird.
This is weird,
to me that I have to do this, and so it actually quite oppositely it forced me the opposite way.
Yeah.
Just just because of that. Like, right, you
Mm-hmm.
you lock up the liquor, it'll get stolen, right? If you leave it out, it won't. It's like I got forced into it, man, and it really
Awesome.
it creeped me out. I didn't understand it. So
Yeah, and as it should,
it
right?
should be a
Yeah.
choice. Everything in our life is a choice, man. It's just crazy to me how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so I would tell you though that growing up LDS in Iowa was very different than here.
I'd imagine.
Like very different. Because like back in Iowa, I would be like, yeah, I would consider myself like before I came to Utah, I would be like, yeah, I'm a pretty religious person.
Yeah.
Right. I'm pretty devout in my faith. But then when I came here, I met people who said the same thing, and I was like, we are not the same. You and I are not the same.
Define that though. What is religious? See what I mean?
So yeah. So and I'll get to that.
Living
right?
to a standard of some
of imaginative,
piety.
Cultural. Yeah. Exactly. It's cultural, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. Like, dude, in Iowa, we were just a bunch of farm kids.
Yeah.
I was the only Mormon in my high school for a long time. You know, I had, and not only that, but like, the church history runs deep back there. That I had friends who.
What are they? Baptists? What are they? What is that?
There, a lot of them are Catholic or
Catholics.
non-denominational Christian, which is like one of the biggest oxymorons, by the way.
Why? What do you mean?
Non-denominational Christian.
Non-denominational Christian.
That's what they call it, and that's a denomination. Where you go? I'm looking for a non-denominational Christian church. Well, doesn't make any sense.
It's like, anyway, I won't go there.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And listen, by the way, I make fun of Mormons probably more than anybody else does.
They're just a thing.
Just roast them.
It's just a thing.
I just roast them. I'm like, you're crazy, bro.
That's why they hate you so much. It's 'cause
You're the
you talk
dealer,
so much
and
shit.
you talk shit.
Yeah. But
And
if
you're
you
on the 27th Hour podcast.
but if you bring it to me on a silver platter, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna roast you for sure.
I love it.
If you say some stupid shit to me, I'm just gonna call you out on it.
Dude, is your old lady? Are you guys about the same kind of a thing?
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
Same idea.
Well, so she grew up in this in a family who was very culturally Mormon, and that's what so there's a difference between like the religion I believe
There we go.
and the culture. See what I'm saying? And they were culturally this way. You know, tattoos were blah blah blah, and if you smoked marijuana, yada yada yada, it was a gateway. All this
You couldn't
stuff.
even drink coffee for God's
And you
sake.
couldn't even drink coffee, but you know, you'd have a Monster the next day, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
That doesn't make any
Control
sense.
does not work.
Exactly. So so we saw that very very early. But we decided to take a different way versus like, because it would have been very easy for us to be like, we're not going to do this anymore. But we we went through our own transition phase, and we realized that what we believe has nothing to do with what other people do. And so we decided just to stick with the things that we loved about it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's got good core value stuff
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And by the way, like those core values don't really differ from any other good person,
From
right?
what's in here.
Yeah, I used to say like if because this actually happened to me one time. We had somebody who was, I lived with, they were agnostic, they were Catholic, these guys were Muslim, these guys were Christian, and we were Mormon, and we all lived right next to each other. And you'd look in the outside of the house, you couldn't tell the difference. And that's when I realized, like, what are we doing, man?
We're all the same, man.
Just go, dude. We'll be fine. And I personally think that God is our understanding of God, and whatever you think that means, is very different. Like, I think it's going to be a whole different conversation versus what we're taught in almost any religion.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's scary. It's just it's not scary. That the word fear is the unknown, right? It's just something that you don't know. But I think when I get up there, I'm burning a joint with Jesus for sure. I'll be tattooing him.
Don't see why not.
Or her, or whatever.
Or her, whatever, dude. That's great. I'm all about it, man.
Such a tricky thing. Do you listen to Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, I love Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
Oh,
I read his book, Maps of Meaning, before I read the 12 Rules.
He's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
I really like him.
Yeah, he's cool. He kind of the same thing. Jordan Peterson kind of the same thing. Very Christian, but understands there's a difference between a lot of the cultural things and the actual dogma of what's going on.
Well, yeah, labeling yourself something doesn't mean you have to. There's no rules in life.
Yeah.
They're what you make of you. Whatever you want to do for yourself are the rule. That's the rule.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's enjoy life. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
dude.
it's just funny
man.
to see the different angles that are around here. It's weird. It just follows this demographic here, and
dude.
It's compiled over the years and got more and more strict. And
yeah, dude. Yeah, and that's something that I'm like, I was not down with.
You ought to try to run a tattoo shop right next to that thing. Right, that was a big deal, bro.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, this was a big, big deal. We had to go to. There wasn't one in West Point, right? There was no tattoo shops in West Point, so we had to go there. I had to present it. They don't have a model for how to run a tattoo business.
Are you talking about like the city?
In West, yeah.
You had to go to the city to open a tattoo shop?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
And we had allegedly a prayer before. You can't do that.
Oh my God.
You can't do that. I don't care about rules, but you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
So yeah, I was like, oh my God. And I'm looking around and
that's the kind of stuff I'd roast somebody for.
All of them. And it was so
bunch of old white people.
I don't get rattled. Oh yeah.
That's what I just call it like I see it, bro.
I don't get rattled, but
you don't like white people. They're gonna definitely roast you now.
Good for them. They should. They know where to find me.
It had to be 8, I think, unanimous yeses or 9 or something like that. The panel, right? And they all had this thing, and they were just staring at me. Same kind of idea what you went through, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I just stood up and owned it and just presented what I had to present, and with zero remorse of just talk the way I talk. And
yeah.
They were just staring at me like, oh, this is a bond. It's not going to happen.
This is
dude, they got over and slammed their little hammer down, and all of them said, absolutely, yes, we're welcome. You know, that's cool.
Cool.
It was just cool. It was really nerve-wracking, though.
Did you grow up with these people? Because you're from West Point. Did you grow up with these people?
I knew just people of people. I didn't know any of them. I just knew them work. No, I didn't grow up with any of them or anything.
Yeah.
I knew the names of his family names and stuff for sure.
It's good it was unanimous.
But I told him that same thing. Is I grew up in this house, so I grew up here. So I've been here my whole life. I got married and divorced and come back, but so I bought it for my parents, right? So I'm like, I've been in that house for my whole life. I mean, I have no plans of going anywhere, and that was part of the presentation. I'm very proud of what I've done here, and I'm not going to go anywhere. So if you guys are going to shun me for not let me do this, I'm already welcome at Davis County. I'll go find another city that'll welcome the business. It brings unbelievable.
So
it stimulates the whole area, man.
Yeah. Are you still the only tattoo shop here?
Yes, sir.
That's sick.
To my knowledge, the only legal one.
The only legal
allegedly.
The
one that I know of in Davis County that's in a home.
Are there no tattoo shops in Davis County?
In a home.
In a home. Okay.
Because this is my home.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's a big deal.
Oh, like a zoning. So like it was a zoning issue.
It was a health department issue.
Okay.
There was no like statute. They have no,
like what you
verbiage.
can do in your house. Okay.
Yeah, there's no. We had to write that for me. There was none of that.
Oh, good for you.
So they had no idea how to even structure it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like I can show you. Start writing. I'll tell you.
I'll tell you what.
Because I broke the rules on accident and was already working through Davis County. Said go ahead, and I didn't even think about West Point till way after the fact. And they're like, hey, no. I'm like, dude, I've been going for a long time, but they welcomed it after me. But yeah, man, it's just weird.
That is weird.
In the community, same idea with the. It was a little tricky, man.
That's so funny, dude. That's so tricky. Weird, man.
But I just like you throwing CBD at them, I just went in there. I just sent it, man.
Man.
Didn't hide anything. I'm just
you don't need to. Yeah, because like if you want to talk to me, we can talk, right? Yeah. And then I only care about the truth. So if it's true, then sweet, and if it's not, then
or perceived truth, right?
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. If you want to go down that rabbit hole,
no, I won't go down rabbit holes.
I am a little existential in my beliefs as well. So like I do run away from people who say, I know for a fact. I'm like, that is a red flag.
There's no such thing. You're projecting.
For sure.
Stop projecting.
Right. I go, yeah, probably not. But if you want to say it, like, that's fine. But I doubt it.
Little uneducated alpha coming out right there. Right. Dude, what's the... There's no end in this thing. You guys are just going to go and go.
Yeah, we're rolling with happiest.
Do you guys do the smokable?
Oh, no.
CBD?
So we don't have flour. No.
Okay.
We could get flour, but maybe.
I've tried it, man. We've tried it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's the same thing. It's just, you just
it smells
smoke
exactly the same.
and it's quicker. Smoking, it's much, much faster.
Yeah. And it hits you, very quick. But yeah, like I said, that might come out later. But our brand, we really wanted to get into the market we wanted to get into quickly. So we stayed away from things that might give us a bad name for branding. And that's the only thing I'm worried about is branding, really. Because I want to get established, and then once I get established, and once people know who we are, and once they're educated on what CBD is and what it can do for people and how it affects us, then we'll start introducing more products.
So you obviously use all of this as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
You love it all.
Yeah. I use the number 2 before podcast.
Dude, let's drink it.
Just put you in a flow, a good flow state.
Really?
Yeah, man, I like it.
Dude, I'm going to hit it. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I love it, man. And just being able to help people in a different way, right? Because one of my biggest things was because you said it earlier was like pharmaceuticals. Like I interviewed on my podcast a couple who started a nonprofit organization called the Black Box Warning Label Initiative.
I heard that.
Yeah. And that was like one of the craziest episodes, like that they had to form a nonprofit to fight putting commercials for like drugs on TV. Like that's never really sat well with me. Like, why are you advertising this?
Right.
This has got to be against some kind of HIPAA violation. Because what am I supposed to do? I saw on TV that it's like going to WebMD, like
right.
typing your symptoms to WebMD.
Right.
Like, they have a really sweet family. I don't have a sweet family. I must have cancer. Like, there's no reason. There's no reason you should be here if you don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than I saw you on TV.
For sure.
And that's kind of crazy to me.
What?
And so they try to stop that.
When you said the Facebook shunned you, was Instagram open?
No. So here's a list of people who we weren't allowed to advertise on: Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter.
All of them. Holla TikTok.
Yeah. No, can't advertise on TikTok. Jesus. Like paid. And so what I'm saying is paid advertising. So you can have like pages and put out content.
How about LinkedIn?
And stuff like that. Nope. No LinkedIn. No, nothing. Dude, nothing. Nobody.
That's so bizarre.
It was crazy.
That makes sense now because I got rejected for trying to boost my IG posts.
With it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
on my advertising.
Oh, shit.
They scan it.
So
they scan it and they see if it says CBD, automatic.
That's so trash.
That's stupid, bro.
It's dumb.
That's not cool, man. When it's completely legal, completely safe.
And you know what? When you start digging into their advertising rules, they're very ambiguous, very arbitrary. Like,
Just an algorithm that
like
is
they're
it a person you think chopping this thing off, or is it just a?
Yeah, well, it's the whole organization, but like you can't advertise like guns, right? So you can't advertise guns, can't advertise alcohol, can't advertise tobacco, and those things. People are like, oh yeah, I get that, and then you're like, but I can't advertise CBD, I can't advertise like smoke shops. Those guys can't advertise. Even so there's tricky ways to get around it, but if you mess up and they catch you, you're done. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of just ride the wave until they catch you.
How many people quit smoking when Joe Camel was? What do you think about that? Obviously you want it to be advertised, or
Yeah,
Are you a parent? Do you have kids?
I do have kids. Yeah, I do have kids.
Do you believe in that? Just full circles that. Do you believe in that? Like if you hide it from them, if they don't hear it or see it or watch it?
No, I don't believe in that. I know where you're going with that. I don't believe in that.
There are people in this world.
They do, yeah, and it really irritates me.
It's bad, bro.
Yeah, like okay, so I'll give you one example, like sex and abortion, right? Hot topic. I'll only say this though: abortion is legal in Germany, and it's illegal in most states in the United States, right? Germany has less abortions than America does, and Germany wouldn't catch up in a million years.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's because of their culture around like how they talk to their kids about sex. In fact, Germany has less everything than America, and it goes back to the DARE program, right?
That's
if you smoke weed, you're gonna get an STD, and you don't want that. Go.
It's the whole blanket everything with a thing. If you're that, you're that. If
it's a
you're
logical
this,
fallacy.
you're that.
Yep.
It's really sad.
It is sad. So no, I don't. Like I'm very. You just tell them because it's like, okay, so where do you want your kid to learn it from? Do you want them to learn it from you, or do you want to learn it from their high school friend?
They're gonna learn it.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Like,
they're gonna learn it.
You're gonna teach them about real sex education yourself, about healthy sexual relationships, or they're gonna go watch porn.
Yep.
And I'd rather teach them myself.
Bro, right. it's but your daughters are young though. Like
my daughter's 5.
You haven't like my son is 8. Like he's gonna be 8 in August, and I've been putting off the boner conversation because he's starting to get a little thingy thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
it's that though. It's that. It's that though. If you it's there. It's gonna be there. It's doing it. It's part of.
Yeah.
It's like when we deny it and we don't confront it.
So you're an OG. How do you break that? How do you break the ice? And how do you? I'm your son. Cool. I'm your son.
Oh my God, Rock is my son.
I just started to walk around with a little Woody. How do you break this conversation to me?
With a ruler.
I'll tell you what. We use like the real. So one of the things we do is we use the real words for things, right? So that's I don't know. I just call it like my daughter. You know, she goes to the bathroom. Did you wipe your vagina?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then we're done.
Why is that?
It's not weird.
Yeah,
right?
there's nothing wrong with anything. There isn't like,
and it's a safeguard, is what we learned when you use because a lot of like pedophiles and these you know, whatever you want to call them, they'll use pet names, right? So they'll got like your cookie or your special place or something like that, and so
that's creepy because that's what all of entertainment says that.
It's weird, dude. Yes. So that's a flag for me. Like if my daughter ever comes home or my son and they say and they don't call it the right word, then I know something's wrong. Right. So then I'm like, something's okay. So then we go, who have you been around? Who told you to say that? That's interesting.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. I like that. I'm the parent that was, I was never here. I was always working, but,
yeah, linemen are busy.
Oh my God. But I never ever fixed anything that wasn't broken. So my relationship with my children is so beyond wide open. The way we talk about everything, they know they can ask anything and I will just answer it. So, but we've never been in that weird little thing ever with any of them.
Cool.
They just kind of did it, figured it out. I never got no talk either. I don't remember that. But I remember in school, I'm like, what? What is that?
I never got to talk either.
So I just figured it out. I'm like, that feels really cool. I'm going to do that again. It's part of being a human being, man.
Yeah, it is.
So that's why I talked on that one episode, man. I none of that needs to be shunned. It needs to just talk about it, man. If somebody if they want to talk about it, that's all. I never ever would. Now, son. No, man. I'm right at it. Whatever it is, I'm right in it.
We're right at it.
But I don't. I think I don't learn if you tell me.
Sure.
I learn if I ask.
Sure.
So telling me things, and every human I think is mostly this way. They're not going to retain the information. If I'm not seeking it, I'm not going to retain it. So I've tried to kind of use that as being an adult. If they don't ask, if you're not seeking, you're not going to receive it, man. It's just that simple. So I don't know. It's a tricky area, but I think it's great that parents just drill into certain things too. That's just not the way we roll. But I think anything they ask, they know they'll get an answer for it.
Yeah. Well,
a wide open answer.
To kind of piggyback on that, by the way, one of the things I like to do in my life, like I don't do it formally, but I like to teach things. And so if I want to teach my daughter something, I'll start saying words. So if I want to teach her about sex, I'll start saying words to draw curiosity out of her. Right.
Yeah.
So to make her ask questions, because as a parent, that's what I do. Like I try to make my kids ask questions by giving them like trigger words. Dad, you said that. What does that mean?
So you're digging then. You're doing a little bit of digging.
I do. Yeah. Well,
That's cool.
I fish. Yeah. I call it fishing.
Fishing. There we go. That's a little better word.
I fish. Because that's part of being a good teacher is because you're totally right. Like if you just lecture, like no one's going to get it. But when you say something, and that's why like that book title got me, right?
Yep.
Because I was like, other lies I've loved, right? Nothing, I thought everything was a coincidence.
Right.
Everything happens for a reason. And other lies I've loved, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And now I'm curious. So now I'm going to go read the book.
Right.
Oh, and then I learned, I was like, oh yeah, she's actually 100% right.
And all we can do is parent off of what we remember, right? Growing up. So I was the kind of guy, you probably already can tell that you couldn't tell me anything. There's just no way.
Yeah.
The more I got told, the more I'd go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Very simple. Hide the booze.
Most of
I'm
us
drinking all of it.
Most of us are like
Leave
that.
it open.
Right? Yeah.
Leave me to me and let me figure me out. That was me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've just raised my children the same way.
It's great.
I think that's all we can do. And I think we try to do it the way Joe and Harry and whoever's doing it. And it's not you. It's not authentic. And then your kids know. They're like, man, what's your deal?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So that's just how I roll. But I don't really put any thought. I don't put a whole lot of thought into things. I don't plan things out that way either. I struggle with too much structure of what I'm going to go do. Right.
Yeah.
I just kind of let things flow.
Yeah. Well, it's like that weird paradox of curiosity killed the cat.
Yep.
And curiosity saved the cat.
For sure. You're damned if you do.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
What are you going to do, bro?
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna. I think that it's just having that conversation, just asking them, do you know what's going on?
Yeah.
Do you? I don't know.
That's it right there. It's just weird. It's hard.
I have a good relationship with my son. In the sense of, I ask him. Like we were talking. I was using certain words, and I was like, "Do you know what that means?" And he was like, "Does it mean this?" And I'm like, no, it actually means this, right? So making sure that he uses words in the right context and stuff like that. And I think that's the same thing with this conversation, is just really just starting the spark. And, I mean, I can have conversations with adults. It shouldn't be that hard with my son.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
And I was just a believer growing all the way through that I didn't water what was not wanting water. Because it was very counterproductive for me to tell me anything. I would automatically not listen to you because you're telling me something. I'm not asking you anything, right?
Yeah, I don't want it. Right?
Yeah,
for sure.
That's my personality. Yeah, girls are good luck, man.
Yeah. Well, I found out that like
you're smart, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I found out. My daughter's just like insanely intuitive. So I'm like, we just talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. And like talk about sex. And even though she's 5, like I don't go like, hey, we're going to talk about sex. Like, but it'll just be like, because you can't like, and that's one of the things to kind of circle back to the whole culture around where we're at, right, in Utah, is you can't raise these kids as sexual beings. You can't raise them as not sexual beings and then let them go, after they're married, right? Because here's one thing, you know what I'm saying? Because here's one thing that they won't tell you, that divorce statistics in our church aren't any lower than anywhere else in any other religion in the country, right? So we don't have some secret sauce. And I think one of the reasons we messed up is because we like told these kids to not be, to hide, to repress their sexual feelings, right? Instead of learning how to manage them appropriately.
Yep.
Because like you can go too far with it sometimes and you can repress it too much, right? Like I said at the beginning, right? Truth is in the middle. So you can't just teach these like, that's who we are, bro, that we're sexual beings. Like, did you ever see that study that they did with chimps? They gave they gave male chimps money, right? And they taught them they showed them money, right? They taught them money, and it was like this exchange for things like they'd sit the monkey right here, and 2 scientists would be here. One scientist would give them $1, and the other scientist would give me a candy, right? And they would show that, and they would show these chimps that, and they gave a chimp money, and the first thing the chimp did was he ran over to the female chimps and exchanged it for sex, right? So like we're sexual beings.
It's very much what we are. It's
so you can't hide that. So why would you not teach that, right?
Absolutely. And how do you do it? Do you blanket it and teach all the kids the same way? It's parenting, man. We need to be good parents and help your kids with whatever they need.
I just think you just start talking about it, right? You just bring it up naturally so that the kids feel comfortable asking questions. Well, mom and dad talk about sex all the time, right? So why don't we just ask them, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like it's not being talked about, so it must not be that big of a deal. So I'm just gonna go ask them. Right?
Yeah, open relationship, man.
What do you do if your kid is a serial killer? Like, what if they? I had this conversation with one of my homies. I was like, damn, I think I would still love my son if he was the Night Stalker. Like,
well, look at Dexter, right?
Sure.
So he was. Yeah, that's a funny point. You're philosophical.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah.
So it's you could never kill somebody. Absolutely, is a false statement.
Sure.
If I grab your daughter and start choking your daughter, you will take me out, bro.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Right. So it's just brutal. That's people say they could never do that, and that's where I go in that thing with the salty thing before.
Yeah.
You can't make those statements as bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
I guarantee you, if you grab my wife and try to harm her, like I'm gonna kill the guy. Like so
for sure. Well, yeah. Because you just never. Yeah, dude, it's tough. You just never know what's gonna happen until it happens.
You just said we'll figure it out. That is the most terrifying statement I've ever heard.
I did?
No.
That's my favorite.
I can tell he's
like, we'll figure it out. It's like, oh my gosh.
See, and I do oh man. I'm watching this guy close.
No,
I heard you're into jiu-jitsu too?
Yeah.
You do some MMA stuff, bro?
Yeah, I teach my daughter MMA too.
Dope.
Yeah. I teach her a little bit. My wife tries to cut that back a little bit, but
how come?
Oh, so you know Jordan Peterson, right?
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things he says, and I can't remember where he got it from, but I just remember I heard it first from him. So that's what I'm going to attribute it to. But he's like, teach him how to be a monster first, and then teach him how to control it.
Sure.
So that's what I teach my daughter. So she's gotten in trouble a few times for like hitting people and like taking people down. But then I pull her back and I'm like, hey, listen, remember I taught you this and you did it, right? But not in the right way.
Right.
You can't just punch your friend in the face because your dad showed you how to do it.
But you so can.
But I'm like, then we go through the rundown, right? Like, were you in danger? No. Were they hurting you? No. Were you scared? Did you feel scared? No. I'm like, well, then if you didn't feel any of those, you probably shouldn't kick people. You know what I'm saying?
Unless they stole your candy bar.
Yeah, unless they stole, But yeah, so I do though. I am into jiu-jitsu. But that's also why I feel like I'm very like I don't like to fight or anything like that.
Yeah, people that can fight don't want to fight.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, like I don't need to. I don't need to.
There's nothing to prove.
Yeah, I don't know. You're just gonna run your mouth, and I've heard that before, and I expect that. So nothing. I try to live my life without any surprises, and what I mean by that is one of the tenets of Stoicism is premeditate malorum, which is you premeditate on all the things that could go wrong, right? So I used to have a screensaver on my computer that said just expect it, right? So like in sales, right? Like that was my thing, like expect it. So the customer is going to tell you no. They're going to tell you it's too much money. They're going to tell you they need to go talk to their wife. They're going to tell you this, this, and this, and this. And if you expect it, if you know they're going to say that, then it's not that big of a deal. Like I already knew that. I already saw it coming.
You're not living in it. You're just, it's there.
Yeah.
You're acknowledging it.
Yeah. So and so one of my favorite phrases is life is about acceptance and not control.
Like that. You can't control people anyway. You can't do it.
Yeah. So you just accept it. And like that definition, I wrote a little post about this, but like that definition has gotten really skewed. Cause if I say like, if like my mom isn't Mormon, and so if I accept my mom as who she is, that must mean that I agree with everything that she does. And that's not the case. See what I mean?
It's very complex. Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
No, I don't agree with everything she does, but there's nothing I can do about it. And she's my mom. So
Right.
All right, then we're just going to accept this. We're just going to roll with it. We're just going to let it flow. And and just keep going.
How would it be just to allow people to be people?
Yeah, just we're on this crazy ride, bro.
It's up there tattooing all the time. We get a lot of the talk about the politics stuff and all that. It seems to me that we some go to these places quickly and grab onto things they can't do anything about.
Yeah.
Worry about shit you can do something about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Worry about you. Worry about this and do something good for you. That's man. I'm a big activist of that. Just do you, man. Just do you.
For sure.
When you're good, everything else around you comes good.
Yeah.
And then you meet guys that Ray Jimson.
Why don't you give him the talk? Because I was telling him about the talk that you gave me about fucking quit your job. Why you being a pussy?
Oh, dude, I got the motivation on blast.
Oh yeah, go ahead, dude.
That's my thing. So you like Peterson? Do you like? Are you big into any of the motivation stuff? Do you like
some of it? Sometimes, yeah.
You like Gary Vee?
I like Gary Vee a lot.
Gary Vee's a beast. I can see you liking him.
Yeah, I like Gary Vee. He's cool.
Simon Sinek.
I like Simon Sinek. I read all of Simon's books.
Yeah, dude, me too.
Yeah, he's good.
Stuff. Yeah. What? Why is he not jumping?
I mean, he started a business, but
I mean, I've got his product right here.
Dude. Right, dude. No, I did. So,
are you holding back on us, bro?
No, I'm not, dude. I actually did. I had to go back to my 9 to 5 though. I needed health insurance. I didn't know how to go.
Dude, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, bro.
I didn't know how to do it without that. So,
did you guys just buy your own third-party stuff before? Is that what you were doing? That's what we've done.
We were looking at it, and I found some actually like stellar deals for third-party stuff and like really good plans. But also, I realized that I could not work from home because I am not a homebody. I had to leave. I have to go somewhere, and I got to feel like I'm going somewhere to do something.
You got to remove them. You need to detach.
Well,
and then come home, and home is home.
Yeah, home is home. Work is work.
I'm quite the opposite.
But I did though. For a while, I did. I was in the car business, and I said, "Screw it, dude. I can't do this anymore. So I'm gonna go do my own thing with my accounting degree and with my business acumen." But then I did not. Then I jumped back onto the ship.
God, he's only 27. You're only 27, bro.
Yeah.
You still got a lot coming.
I don't know.
Such an old soul.
Dude,
right.
Yeah, you don't act 27, homie.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Dalton, one thing about you that I've learned, one thing that I'm noticing is that you're more out there now. Like, what is that like? What is, take me through this journey, because the Thinking Project was, you just, small dude, and now you're rebranding, you're out there more, you're on a bunch of different podcasts, you're meeting new people. Take us through that. How are you feeling right now with all that?
I like it, man. I like being on these podcasts, and I like talking to people. I found out that I enjoyed very much, getting people to think and getting people to talk. So I was like, let's just start a podcast then. And that's it. And so being on all these other podcasts has been really special for me. And here's why. Right back to jiu-jitsu. I posted this on my Facebook group. That I said there's something very sacred, and I used that word on purpose. That there's something very sacred about getting your ass kicked. And I think that everybody should get their ass kicked a few times.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the guy that don't cause a ruckus, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's why I said sacred.
What is it? It's everything's fun until you get punched in the face.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Tyson. Everybody has a plan until he gets
punched
in the face. Yep, until they get punched. And that's true, dude. And that's why. But that's also why, like, I tell this. And by the way, I tell this to my wife and everybody that I meet. But like when we're in a setting where I'm mentoring somebody or they've come to me for some kind of advice, like my number one goal is to make them rethink everything that they thought they knew. Like, it's just like, because there's something very sacred about hitting rock bottom and getting your ass kicked.
Absolutely.
And everybody's got to go through it. And one time so all these experiences, where I got yelled out of church and stuff like that, happened with my family. So this book I'm telling you about, Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies I've Loved. So my sister-in-law is about to go to college, and she's, she grew up in this very, this bubble, right? That I've heard that word used a few times, and I realize what that means now. And she grows up in this bubble, and I'm like, you need to read this book. And she goes, okay. And she looks at it and she's like, well, but someone said this and so-and-so said this. And I just don't know if I agree with the title. And I'm like, good. That's why you need to read it.
Perfect.
Yep. That's good. And then I gave her my talk that I give to all of these young kids who come up, right?
Young kids, you
Dude,
son of a
but
bitch.
listen. So did you hear, oh no, I'm releasing K the Dogs this week. But on K the Dogs, I said, you remember when J. Cole wrote
I heard it.
middle child, and I'm little bro and big bro all at once.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I heard that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And so I have people that I'm peers with. I have people that I try to help, and then I have people that I learn from. And so the people that I try to help bring up, I tell them, like, you're going to get your ass kicked, you're gonna hit rock bottom, and it has to happen. And I told this to my sister-in-law. I'm like, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna go on your mission, because she's serving a mission now. I'm like, and what? A family, a couple who's 35, 40 years old, they got 5 kids, and you're teaching them about tithing, and they have to choose between tithing or feeding their family. You're going to tell a 40-year-old father and a husband that and think it's going to go over smooth? You're higher than a kite.
Right.
I'm like, you're high. You're not, it's not going to happen. I was like, nothing in the world will prepare you for how small you will feel when you have that conversation. And it will happen, and you'll get your ass kicked. And my mother-in-law and my father-in-law freaked out. They were like, why did you teach her that? I'm like, because it's
real.
Because it's real. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah, it's real.
You know what I mean?
It's real.
And that's the stuff they don't teach you in the MTC or about missions. And that's exactly why I had to teach her that.
Did you serve a whole thing? Did
Yeah.
you go all the way through?
2 years, yep.
I could see you bending the rules
Yeah.
to get kicked out. Selling CBD.
Selling CBD.
Why? So did that hinder your guys' relationship?
No.
Okay.
No. A little bit. Not really. Because I didn't care, though. Because I was like, I had to tell her the truth.
You and your sister-in-law tight then?
Yeah. We're good. Because she realized it, by the way. She's written a few times back, and I'm like, look, this is not gonna go how you think it's gonna go at all.
Right.
I'm like, your mission is not for other people. Your mission is for you.
Yeah. See, what is it? Hurt people. So it's
Yeah.
out of control. People control people.
Yeah.
Very, very inversely proportioned. It's so strange to watch that, how that happens.
Yeah. And so, I realize some of your listeners might not be LDS, but that's just where I live.
Oh, that's cool.
And so a lot of my examples and stories come from that. So
They're good. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's the root of all of it right there. Because everybody talks about it all the time. Everybody's talking about it. You got to take 2 Mormons with you fishing, right? How does it go?
Oh yeah. So want to
drink-
bring the beer or something.
The other one drinks it. Yeah, something like that. I don't even know.
You don't hide it anymore. That's what I tell
But
you.
it's big, man. Self-awareness. People just don't do something because somebody else did it.
Yeah.
Follow what you
figure
want
it
to
out.
do. Yeah, man. Your heart's not there. That's why it's telling you that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So yeah, we've been into a few of these little issues before too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, it's real, and that's why I have a lot. Back to your point, Trey. That's why I have a lot of empathy, because not only I've been there, right? Like, I've been in a lot of these situations where people would have and I did. I got super pissed at the people around me, and so I have a lot of empathy for people who want to just find their own thing, because it's like, dude, you just never know, man. And you never know what people need, and how they need to cope, and how they need to heal themselves. And I just think that there's a lot more, like, love is what binds us together. Anyway, that's my Buddhist stuff.
That's cool, man. You're very well spoken.
You know what I mean?
We don't stumble, that's for sure. Follow what you're into, man. Just go for it, right?
Dude.
We're all such a creature of our own little brain. We don't get out of our own way, man. Get out of your way.
But tell me, like, why you jumped ship and why you started your podcast. And this is a beautiful garage, by the way.
Thank you, man.
It's a beautiful setup.
Thank you. I've been an artist my whole life. Since I remember, been drawing, painting, whatever I could get a picture on. I'm just creative, super creative. And same entrepreneur brain always. I have a thing I wrote when I was 14. It's a bizarre little story that mapped out my life from the age of 14 all the way up, and it's stupid, scary, accurate.
Cool.
I'm just a driver, man. I am just a really going, focused. I don't fit in boxes really well.
Yeah.
I found that as soon as someone puts a wall up, I'll beat it down to see why.
Yeah.
So I've always been that guy since a child. So I've just always known I wanted to do my own thing. My dad was a lineman for his whole life. He's still a lineman, 42 years.
No kidding.
Yeah, bro.
Wow, cool.
So I grew up in the era of you do what your dad did if he's cool, and you that's your hero. That's your superhero, right? I never even checked that. He was always my hero. So I went into the line trade and did that for 25 years. And I just felt it, man. I just knew I could do this. So I started tattooing 13 years ago, I think. But I just knew it.
Yeah.
I don't hesitate. I just don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Not even.
That's good though.
The thought of something scaring me makes me run at it harder. If something's scary, I go faster. Like the same thing with the insurance thing. That was her hold up for like 3 years. I was going to do this 3 years ago.
That's scary.
But it was an insurance thing. That's no reason to hold you back. Millions of people have done it before, and they're going to do it again.
They'll do it again. Yeah, and you'll figure it out.
Man, I just don't hang up in I'm in my own way. I always have been, and I get right out of my own way now. I just know that. So I've just wanted to do my own thing and do my own everything I do, and then the podcast just supports it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
It brings it all together, dude.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, podcasts do that, man. It brings brings it all together.
It's such a cool thing.
It's so versatile. You can do a lot with a podcast. I think everybody should have a podcast.
It's wide. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's wide open. You can just do your thing.
Yeah, and I always tell people, like, as I'm sure you do, but, like, I'm like, you don't listen to only one podcast, right? You listen to, like, 10, 20.
It's like having one spice in your cupboard, bro.
Right,
I don't want just pepper. Come on, man. I want to spice this shit up. Yeah, you take a little bit from everybody and make your own thing, man.
For sure.
That's the way I like to roll.
For sure, man. That's cool.
There's no recipe to life, man. We're all trying to follow one, and there's no such thing. Make one, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know the way. I don't even care. There is no way to me.
Sure.
So we're just going.
Yeah, or what I tell people is, like, there's many ways, right? There's it's like you got the Mississippi River, and there's all these deltas off of it, but they all feed back off of that.
Right.
And the Mississippi River feeds off of the Gulf of Mexico, and then it just goes from there, right?
And the craziest thing of all is there's only one your way. So that's what frustrates me when we coach people. Do that too, by the way.
Oh, you coach people?
Yeah, I do.
Right on, dude.
Life coach.
Like life coach.
You need to join our team. You'd run it. You can run it.
That's cool.
That's
man.
it. It's
people need that.
There's only your way. You're your only way. It's like, man, what are you holding back from everybody? From yourself? What are you holding back from you? Shame on you for not letting us see you, is what I try to tell everybody. Man, what is it you want to do?
Yeah.
Whatever your passion is, that should be your job. It's not a job. You do that for a living, and you make money doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
There's a market for everybody's talent. Everybody.
Yeah. The days of working for one company for 40 years and getting the gold Rolex and then retiring is like, it's done, bro.
It's the fear of rejection of the closest in our lives, not us failing.
Yeah.
It's Gary Vee, right? So it's the fear of rejection from, Dre or my wife might say no, so I'm not going to. It's not, they're not afraid to fail.
Sure.
They're afraid of what mom or dad or whoever is above them in their hierarchy thinks of them. So
for sure.
So we run our own way, man. It's really scary. Don't do that. That's the shit. That's what you dive into is whatever's scaring you and making you wonder, head first as hard as you can go, man.
I agree.
For me, that's my personality. I can't sit back and plan everything.
I remember when I started my CBD company, I waited forever to tell my aunt and uncle. Like, and I really love those guys. They helped me. They took care of me for a long time and helped me be the person I am. But I remember when I started.
That's quite the opposite of how you are, right?
No, it was scary. My aunt's scary though. She's a very fierce Polynesian woman, and she's scary.
And inevitably, it was going to happen.
I was just like, she's going to hear this, and so I was like, hey, so I started a CBD company. She's like, oh, that's great. I was like, okay, cool.
It never goes the way we think.
Yeah,
bro.
Who said that? Who said that? Mark Twain said that. He said,
I think it is Mark.
He said, I've suffered a lot of things in my life, only of which a few have happened.
Yeah. What you think is going to happen doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
High expectations, high frustration. So you never know.
Right.
Just do it. Go. Quit waiting.
Yeah, yeah,
No
yeah.
hesitate. Mel Robbins. You listen to Mel Robbins? She's
Oh,
cool.
yes. She wrote the 5-second rule.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Mel
She's
Robbins is cool.
She's a beast. Dude.
Yeah, Mel Robbins is really good.
I love the no hesitate thing. I'm really into that.
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and go.
And I don't need those. I don't count. And I don't do all the things, but I just love the idea of why are you hesitating?
Do you listen to Jocko? Willink then, right? Okay.
Every single day.
Yeah, I have a copy of Extreme Ownership autographed by him and Leif Babin. But he was cool. They're cool.
Guy.
But you remember
you met him then? Did you meet Jocko?
I didn't, dude. But the only reason I have an autographed copy is because I worked for a general manager who had he had an old team trained by those guys. He paid big money to have them come and do a training for them. And so he had some left over and he gave me one. And so I just think it's really cool. Because I read the books, but I'm also like a collector, right? I have the books. Most of them have never been opened because I listen to them on Audible. But anyway, Jocko had this video. You know, he does his like 4 a.m. videos.
Oh yeah.
And he had one, and he was like, "I have my morning routine." He's like, as soon as I wake up, I open my eyes, I take 3 deep breaths, I count to 10, and then he's like, and then I don't do any of that. He's like, it's all bullshit. Get your ass out of bed.
Get up and move.
Get the out.
That's it. That's it.
So
it's discipline. Yeah, Jocko's a beast.
Awesome,
I
man.
love Jocko.
It was so fun, dude. He was a good one. That was really fun.
He's a solid.
Because he had me going. I was like, this is not Jocko. He's getting paid to do this. Like, this isn't real.
Me?
No, Jocko.
Oh yeah.
Jocko. I was like, that's not real. I'm like, this isn't him. Because he's like, you want to work out? He's like, go do burpees until you throw up. He's like, you'll feel great afterwards.
Like, it's true.
It's
so true, man. It's hard to do what you want to. The only way to get where you're going is the hard, scary, sweaty, nasty, sad,
it's
broke, whatever it is you're wanting to do.
Yeah,
it's
very
horrible to get where you're going, but it's worth every step when you finally do it.
Yeah, that's why.
If your heart's in it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people try to run away from suffering, but then if you look at these, like Buddhist teachings and these existential things, which by the way, like when I learned about all this stuff, I'm like, it didn't. Like a lot of this stuff you would think would have taken me away, right? You started studying Buddhism and Stoicism and all these other philosophies, and I started to realize that, like, oh yeah, this stuff actually makes sense. It's very practical. I can do it in real life.
Sure.
You know? And so a lot of people thought that would have taken me away, but it actually enhanced my beliefs. I was like, oh, this meshes perfectly.
It's more spicy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? This helps me. And so as I was, studying all that, like there's this idea of like, we try to escape suffering, and that's not the idea, right?
I run toward it.
And you
really
should,
fast.
right? Like, because what else are you going to do?
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a true reason for why you hurt, why you're sad, why you're scared, why you go.
It's very
Find out, nail it. It's going to be a pendulum. It goes the other way, right?
Well, and like I said, it's sacred. It's like, it's very special.
It's where we learn, man.
Yeah. It's where you grow. It's where the, the fire happens. Oh, there was a recent boxing match where the coach was, who was it? I can't remember. He was boxing, but I remember watching this boxing match, and the coach is like, he's like, can you handle 15 more minutes of fire? And the boxer's like, yeah. He's like, because it's going to be bad. He's like, but remember, the fire tells us where we're supposed to be. And I was like, dude, when the coach is telling this is boxing guy, and he ends up winning and TKOs this guy. And I'm like, holy shit, dude.
It's real.
That's insane. When he said that, I got chills, and I was like, that's it, dude. That's
all those cool little lessons. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit.
Yeah.
And get your ass up and get hit again.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's scary, man.
That is scary.
That's me. You're looking at that clown.
I was going to say, have you ever fought somebody like that? You punch them in the face and they do nothing?
Oh, dude.
I'm like, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, when you've been to the bad, there's no bad. You're like, this is good, man. I'm good.
Dude, that's great, bro.
So that's our story.
Cool,
We're
man.
keeping on rolling. We got Big Drizzy Rocca with us.
That's right, dude. This is a great setup. This is a great podcast.
I'm so grateful, man. You have no idea. Sometimes I wake up and I'm morning going, like, seriously, well, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, how in the hell have this happened? It's just weird, man.
Well, it's just when you start doing it.
Living your dream is I'm just living.
Yeah.
Right? You're just doing what you want to do. Just do what you want to do. Yes. Do it, people. Quit.
Yes, sir.
Quit hesitating.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you need for a thing to count to 5 or whatever you need there. Structure it all up all you want. But we already know the answer to every question in our head, right? As soon as we've generated a question, you've already answered it. You already weighed out the consequence and all that. Just quit doing that and do what it is you're wanting to do.
Yeah, your thoughts that's a weird one to run down. Like it's all your thoughts, right?
Yep. It's real.
That's true, man.
I have that conversation with a lot of younger. When I say younger, I mean young, like not their age, but like their podcasts. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the podcasters out here, I have that conversation with them because they get in their own head. Yeah. Right? A lot of people, I was telling you, a lot of people, they get in their head because maybe somebody does something similar, or maybe they feel like one person's already talked to one person, right? All these conversations are different, right? Yeah, what you're talking about now, you didn't talk about with the Beehive. You didn't talk about with me. You know what I mean? Like,
there's only one you. That's that.
Yeah.
That's that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know there's 10 million podcasts, but there's only one Dre. Yeah. There's only one. For sure.
I love being me.
I like being me too.
It's a cool thing, man.
It's real. And I'm blessed to have everybody blessed. Listen to that word. That's weird. You're bringing out the blessed in me.
No, good.
Hit him with, do you believe in luck?
No, I don't believe.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Thank you. And we could dig that up for days. Me and this guy could be Ruth. This could be a bad deal.
No,
I don't believe in luck either. That's why there was a big thing the one time. I'm like, no, luck. I manifest my shit. I just do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not lucky. It happened because I did this, and this, and this. I'm logical though.
Yeah. Well, and I go, and I agree with you on that, but I approach luck differently, in the sense that I don't believe that. I believe that again, this is from like my own personal life, but I just believe that you take life as it comes, and depression lives in the past, anxiety lives in the future. And so when you're in the present, you just take it as it comes, and you just make the best of it, right? And I firmly believe that you are where you're supposed to be. Every present moment, you're there, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be.
And how about you? Saying? Oh, hell yeah! Yeah. How about you give that 100% when you're there?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and then you're fully present. You're all there, and there's nothing you can do about all of this stuff going on. You just have to work with what you got, and you make the best of it, and you roll.
You know what we get away from here using that is wish. God, I wished I could. I'm anti that word.
Oh yeah, I don't like that either. Yeah.
Don't wish. Like, stop that shit. Quit thinking about it. Just do something.
Yeah. What do you
physically make a move to something? What do you want to do? Yeah. Did you hear the new confidence thing? I'll stop. I promise. I go too long.
Go ahead.
They used to believe confidence was a behavior, right? So it's now it's the ability to move from thought to action. Mm-hmm. Is now. That's confidence. That's all it is.
Sure.
So confident. Yeah, that's me. I just move. I don't. I'm just moving. And
right.
Whatever I deserve is coming, bro. Because whatever you're putting out there, it comes back.
Yep. For sure, man. In Buddhism, right? In Hinduism, it's called karma, right? Yep. That kind of thing. In Christianity, it's called the law of the harvest, but it all means the same thing.
More labels,
you reap what you sow, bro.
That was the anti-label thing last time. Was that?
Yeah.
There's so many words. I don't even have enough time to sleep or shave or think about. So I just don't have labels for things.
No.
So sometimes I'll speak fast, and it's just
right.
I'm not there. I'm already on to the next thing.
But that's what. So yeah. I mean, I think we're saying the same thing, because I don't believe in luck, but certainly when you're present and when you just start working, so I'll never forget this. We had a badass accounting teacher. And I know that sounds weird, but this guy was like gnarly. I mean, he was a baller. This guy was like teaching accounting on the side of his multi-million-dollar businesses. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me want to be an accountant. But he was like, he taught a couple things, and there was one really cool thing, but one of the things he said, people. So he gets into the class, and he said, this was a mandatory class for this degree, And he's like, this will be the hardest class you take to graduate. And if you don't pass my class, you're not going to graduate. He's like, so get ready, right? Strap in. And then he said, he's like, now a lot of you are going to whine and cry because he's like, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you a problem you're not going to be able to figure out. He's like, I'm going to tell you right now that you just need to start working on it. And he's like, and as you start working on it, you'll figure it out. He's like, but if you never start working on it, you're going to fail my class and you'll never graduate.
That's it, bro.
And I was like, dude. He's like, so just start. He's like, start working on it. He's like, you're not going to get it right the first time, but if you keep reading. And then he gave us the biggest flex one time. He's like, and by the way, all my books are open test or open anything. He's like, you can Google whatever you want. You can bring a book. You can copy and paste whatever you want to Excel. He's like, but if you don't know the material, you will fail every test in this class. He's like, but if you don't study, it won't matter what you bring.
Because all the beauty and the fruit is in the cultivating of it, right?
Dude. Because
that was the question on the physics test was why on the board. The end of the term, it was why. I had a helicopter pilot, Gus. He told me that story. That was it. That was the end of term test. Pass or fail. Why? Huge letters across the whiteboard.
Sweet.
Gus is the only one that passed it. He wrote because everybody else wrote these incredible just novels about why. And it's your why. It's not. Yeah. There's no specific question, so he just wrote because, and I didn't care if I failed or not. He said, I'm the only one that fucking passed. An obvious answer gets an obvious or question gets an obvious answer. He said, I just wrote because, and I didn't know. He said, I passed.
Yeah.
It's always cool, Occam's razor, right? The simple answer is always the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to overcomplicate things for sure.
Oh, boy, my brain does that for sure. But I know where I'm at. I think I know my compass well that way.
There we go, dude.
I'm overcomplicated. Look around you, for God's sake. But I have a chaos. It works for me.
Yeah,
it helps me. What you see is it coming out of me. I'm serious. If this was caged in me, look around you, man. That's how I get it out. But I'm self-aware. I'm big on the self-aware thing. I know what I want to do, man. I just want to create and create. And
that's beautiful.
Stupid that people would spend 75 hours on that wall, but to me, it's everything and what I learned and all that. I just love all that stuff.
Dude, yeah. It's a lot more of the meaning. That's amazing, dude. Right on.
Or spend that time on a wall and then knock that wall down and do it again.
That's coming.
That one's coming down. That's going to be gnarly.
How long did we go?
We're at 1 hour 55 minutes.
Cool, man.
2 hours.
So when people tune into the Thinking Project, what can they expect?
Oh yeah. Stories of business owners and the journey. That's the whole reason I started it. Was that so people could think. So here's the biggest reason why I started the Thinking Project is because everybody has people they look up to, right? So like we look up to Gary Vee, we look up to Warren Buffett, we look up to Jeff Bezos. And not to discount anything that those guys do or the lives that they live, because I'm sure that they're living the lives they want to live. But I realized that a lot of people around me they liked the idea of being Gary Vee, but they didn't like everything that goes into being Gary Vee. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so what I wanted people to realize was that there's people who are making what you want to make, the money that you want to make, they're living the life you want to make or live. They have the toys you want to have. They have everything that you want, and they're living right next door. But you would never meet them because you're spending too much time looking at Gary Vee instead of meeting your neighbor.
That's exactly right.
See what I'm saying?
Love it.
And I was like, so I want you to meet your neighbor. He's actually a multimillionaire. He's built 3 or 4 successful companies. He has all the toys. He has all the heartaches. And he lives the life that you actually want to live. And he did it, right? And by the way, the last Warren Buffett lunch that they auctioned off at the Berkshire Hathaway shareholders meeting went for $5 or $6 million. That's how much it costs to have a dinner with Warren Buffett. And I'll give you your neighbor for free on a podcast for 2 hours, and he'll give you more info than that 30-minute lunch, 1 hour lunch with Warren Buffett.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's why that's ultimately that's what it was, right?
Yep.
And by the way, if you want to be the next Jeff Bezos, if somebody was on my podcast and they're the next Jeff Bezos, like I hope they shout me out. But that's cool, right? Like let them do it.
And wherever you are, there's no such thing. Right. You're whoever you are.
But that's
the point.
But
be you, man. Do you?
Yeah. And this is what I got a lot of controversy on was that like I was like, dude, not everybody wants to be Jeff Bezos. And a lot of people don't start their businesses because they don't think they can be. They're like, man, I don't have $1 billion idea. Well, I hate to break it to you, dude, but like I tell people this, but like you wouldn't know $1 billion idea if it slapped you in the face because you haven't done your $100,000 idea. You haven't done your $500,000 idea. You haven't even done anything. Right now, your time is worth zero because you haven't done anything. I'm like, so stop waiting for $1 billion idea to be the next Amazon, because you wouldn't know it even if it hit you in the face.
These guys didn't do it overnight. They've cultivated their craft throughout the years. That's what I respect from all of them. I have zero envy of any human alive.
Sure.
I don't do that either. But I love the read their stuff, listen to their stuff. Man, the trenches they dug is just insane. How these dudes live, eat, sleep, and breathe their craft, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool to just nobody's ever going to be anybody but them.
Yeah.
So take a little piece of that, and
dude,
build you something.
And that's what I tell people. I'm like, you didn't start your business because you don't think it's going to be X, Y, or Z, and it's not supposed to be that, right? Like these guys, a lot of these guys you think about had 4 or 5 businesses. But I'll be honest with you, dude. Like I don't really care about making $1 billion or doing anything like that. I'd rather just impact people in a positive way and leave my mark and do me. And all I want people to know is that he tried his best and he was honest with what he was doing.
Well said. You're doing it. You're doing it, man.
And so people can find that on the Thinking Project. They can listen to these people who are just trying to do their 100,000 idea, their $500,000 idea, and they're living the life that you want to live.
Yep.
And they can do it they can quit their job if they don't like their job.
You can do. There's not one physical thing in this world that holds us from anything. Man. That's the funniest part. Everybody thinks they're constrained. You're not. You're doing it yourself.
For sure.
For whatever reason you're making up. It's right. Everybody. It's in your own head. There's nobody holding you down.
Yeah.
That's impossible. It can't happen. If you're in prison, that's a different story. But if it's not coming from here, it's not even worth it. So everybody's going for the big thing, and I know a lot of guys that have tried to start certain things, and it's the greed, and they just want the big dollar. That will show. It'll absolutely show. Short-term success is a long-term failure. So it's like if you grind it out hard and you're really honing that thing out, it's going to be well worth the ride.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm a believer in that too.
Yes,
you're way better spoken than I am with all the logical word of all the other things that are out there.
Yeah, I love what I do, man.
I do too, man.
I just love what I do, and I can tell, bro. This is amazing. What you're doing is amazing. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
We're happy to have your support.
Yeah, of course.
And we're happy to support you in any way we can.
Yes, sir. I'm digging it.
However we can, man. I'm down. All you people, get on there and follow Happiest.
Yeah.
Can you follow? Can they follow it?
They can follow Happiest on Instagram and Facebook.
So you can have it on there. Okay.
Yep. They can go to our website, happiestmed.com, pick up anything. Yep. And it's a good way. Another reason, it's a good way to get introduced to CBD without spending a lot of money. Like, I don't know if you've ever looked at some of the big guys for CBD, but like this bottle, this number 2, 1,500 milligrams of CBD. This bottle on CBDMD goes for $120. This one.
Holy Nikes.
Yeah. So this bottle of sleep aid, if you can get 1,000 milligrams of CBD in a sleep aid on CBDMD, this bottle would run you about $100, $110.
And your prices, you're not going to.
My prices. Yeah, my prices are every one of these is $49.99.
Much lower.
So you don't have to
quality
big
product,
investment, bro.
Way cheaper.
Yeah.
You're looking at the guy.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, you didn't lose any money.
Well, and you can also use promo code 27th hour and get a discount.
10%.
10% off
for that. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
That's why I have to have a Dre.
That's right, dude.
And a wife.
Yeah. You gotta have the team, bro.
I just do what I do. Use the promo code, right?
You can use the promo code and get it even cheaper, dude. You can try CBD without feeling.
I don't know what you guys are waiting for, but if you can see these right here, get on.
There you go.
Do it. Use the promo code.
Yes, sir.
And get happiester. Get more happiester.
That's right.
If you're not happy, you need to do happy. I fucked that all up.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you what, I'm very grateful to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to do this again, my bro.
Yes, sir.
Dre
We'll do
Rocca, thanks.
Of course.
I appreciate you all the time.
Of course.
Everybody, please be good to everybody. You don't know what somebody's going through.